Welcome to Cheetah Secrets. Let's jump straight into today's story. Everything began on a Tuesday night. I remember the day clearly because Tuesdays were usually uneventful. Tammy walked in after work, dropped her purse onto the kitchen counter, and said, "Can we talk for a minute?" Then she lowered herself onto the edge of the couch. I recognized that body language immediately. I'd seen it once before, when her mother was hospitalized. Tense. Uneasy. Serious. I turned off the television and sat facing her. "What's going on?" I asked. She inhaled deeply, the kind of breath someone takes before delivering a prepared statement rather than starting a casual discussion. "I've been thinking a lot," she said. "About you. About me. About where I am in life." I stayed quiet and let her continue. "I feel stuck," she went on. "Like I don't even know who I am outside of us. I need some space, Roger. I need time to figure myself out." I didn't move. She kept talking. "I think we should take a break. Maybe just be friends for a while. This isn't about you. I swear. I just need room to grow." There it was. Neatly packaged. Rehearsed. Polite. I could have asked if there was someone else. I could have argued. I could have tried to fight it. But I didn't. I'd seen this script before, not with her, but with other people. When someone says they need space, they've already taken it. The choice is usually made long before the words are spoken. I nodded once. "Okay." Tammy blinked. "That's it? That's what you want?" She looked genuinely surprised. "I mean, yeah. I didn't expect you to be so fine with it." "I'm not fine with it," I said calmly. "I'm just not going to beg." She stared down at her hands. "I'll stay at Paige's place for a few days. Just to give us both some breathing room." "Take whatever you need," I replied. "Just text before you come back." She gave me a strange, half-hearted smile and went into the bedroom to pack an overnight bag. When the door closed behind her, the apartment became quiet in a way it hadn't been for years. Not heavy. Not emotional. Just empty and still. In that silence, I stood up, grabbed my laptop, and started making a list. I've never been the type to react loudly or impulsively. I think things through step by step. If Tammy wanted space, then I was going to give it to her properly. No overlap, no confusion, no blurred boundaries. The first item on the list was shared accounts. Everything was under my name. I logged into each one, changed passwords, removed her profiles, and cancelled any subscriptions that weren't necessary. Next was the car. About a year and a half earlier, Tammy's old Corolla finally gave out. Around the same time, I'd received a raise and bought a new SUV. Since I worked from home, she ended up driving it most of the time, commuting, errands, late-night gym visits. Eventually, it felt like it was more hers than mine. But legally, it wasn't. The title, insurance, and payments were all in my name. I sent her a text, keeping it simple and professional. "Since we're taking space and figuring things out as friends, I'll need the car returned this week. Insurance doesn't cover non-resident primary drivers. Let me know when I can pick up the keys." No reply. Left on read. I didn't take it personally. People tend to go quiet when they realize their safety nets are disappearing, or when they're hoping you'll wait around like an unpaid backup option. Next on the list was the apartment. We'd moved in together 3 years earlier, but the lease had always been under my name. I paid the rent. She contributed to groceries and utilities when she could, but legally, the place was mine. I didn't rush to change the locks. Not yet. I wanted to give her a clean exit. Let her collect her belongings like an adult. If she didn't, I'd handle it differently. This wasn't about revenge. It was about structure. She asked for space. I was providing it. Fully. Something told me she hadn't expected any of this. Friday afternoon, around 4 o'clock, I was making coffee when a sharp knock hit the door. Fast. Aggressive. Either angry or panicked. I looked through the peephole. Tammy. Her hair was pulled back sloppily, cheeks flushed, like she'd rushed over. She knocked again, harder this time. I opened the door and leaned against the frame. "What the hell, Roger?" she snapped. "No hello?" I kept my voice steady. "What's wrong?" You removed me from all the shared accounts, and you sent me that text about the car. Yeah, I said. You said we're friends now. Friends don't share subscriptions or vehicles. Her jaw tightened. I said I needed space. I didn't say destroy our entire life. I didn't destroy anything, I replied. You ended it. I just adjusted. I never said it was over, she shot back. I just needed time. You're being dramatic. No, I said evenly. I'm done paying for your freedom. She threw her hands up. You're acting exactly how Trent said you would. That stopped me. The name hit hard. Trent, the gym buddy. The guy whose name had started popping up in her stories more often than made sense. Late-night workouts. Once, I'd seen his name light up her phone close to midnight. She'd said it was nothing. I believed her. Or maybe I chose to. Her expression shifted instantly. That's not what I meant. Trent? I asked calmly. She crossed her arms. He's just a friend. He's been really supportive lately. Supportive of what? I asked. Your decision to leave me but keep the car and the benefits. You're twisting this, she snapped. No, I said quietly. You wanted to try something new while keeping me as a backup. That's when everything clicked. Trent had been whispering in her ear for weeks, feeding her ideas, reshaping the story so I became controlling, possessive, the villain. And Tammy wanted the thrill of a new connection without losing the comfort of stability. It wasn't chaos. It was calculated. She just hadn't expected me to play along this way. This is ridiculous, she scoffed. I need the car tomorrow. It's not your car, I said. Your name isn't on it. If anything happens, I'm liable. She crossed her arms. Then come get it. I'm not bringing it to you. I will, I replied calmly. And I'll have a backup plan in case the keys aren't ready. She rolled her eyes and walked off, muttering under her breath. I shut the door and opened the car's app on my phone. The vehicle was parked 2 blocks away. All I had to do was wait. Just after dark, I put on my jacket and walked down the street. The SUV was exactly where the app showed it. Her gym bag was still in the back seat. Tammy wasn't there, but her sister Paige's apartment was right nearby. I stood on the sidewalk, opened the app, locked all doors, and activated the alarm. The horn blared. Headlights flashed. 30 seconds later, Tammy burst out of the building. What are you doing? She shouted over the noise. I didn't yell back. I simply raised my phone and shut the alarm off. Seriously? She hissed. You couldn't wait 1 day? I texted you 2 days ago. You're acting insane. No, I said. I'm reclaiming my property before someone else drives off in it. It's just a car, Roger. Maybe to you, I replied. To the bank and the insurance company, it's mine. And until my name is off the paperwork, you don't get to use it. Her jaw clenched. You're punishing me. This is your ego. If I were punishing you, I said, I wouldn't have warned you. I wouldn't have turned the alarm off. I'd have already reported it stolen. She froze. I held out my hand. The keys. She hesitated, weighing her options. Then she pulled out the fob and slapped it into my palm. I hope Trent was worth it, I said as I stepped back. You don't know anything, she snapped. I didn't respond. Back at the apartment, I shut the door, locked it twice, and opened my laptop to start a new list. First item, change the locks. Second item, install a security camera. A quiet instinct told me this wasn't finished yet. Not even close. By Sunday, the locks were replaced. When the new deadbolt snapped shut, I felt something settle, not peace, not relief, but separation. A barrier between the past and whatever came next. That same evening, I mounted a compact security camera above the front door. No blinking lights. No wires. Just silent coverage. Monday morning, I was midway through a virtual meeting when an alert popped up from our IT department. Subject: follow up on external complaint. Most days I worked from home, but I still went into the office once or twice a week for in-person meetings and client discussions. Apparently, over the weekend, HR had received an anonymous email accusing me of being unstable, hostile, and threatening toward my former partner. The wording was deliberate. Cold. Carefully vague, just enough to trigger an internal review. My pulse stayed steady. I knew exactly where it came from. Later that day, I was escorted into a conference room with Melissa from HR and my manager, Jonathan. Melissa opened her laptop and rotated it toward me. "We're required to address this," she said evenly, "even though the sender is unidentified." I read the message. It portrayed me as unpredictable and dangerous. It referenced an incident involving a vehicle and suggested controlling behavior. When I finished, I leaned back and spoke clearly. "This is retaliation. My ex ended our relationship a week ago." I responded by removing her access to shared services and reclaiming my vehicle. Every step I took was factual and documented. Melissa asked if I could support that claim. I unlocked my phone and handed it over. The full text conversation with Tammy, timestamps included. Screenshots from the vehicle app showing location and access logs. Records of cancelled subscriptions. Jonathan, who had remained silent until then, leaned forward. He explained that the person described in the complaint didn't resemble the employee he'd worked alongside for 6 years. Melissa reviewed everything carefully. She thanked me, said the incident would be logged, but given the evidence and my professional record, there was no basis for further action. Case closed. I left the office composed. That night, at exactly 12:13 a.m., my chest tightened when a motion alert appeared on my phone. I opened the app. Tammy was standing outside my front door. The footage was sharp. She wore a hoodie and running shoes, scanning the hallway as if she didn't want to be noticed. She pulled an old key from her pocket and slid it into the lock. It didn't turn. She tried again. Nothing. She tested the handle once, then stood motionless, staring at the door. After nearly a full minute, she turned around and left without making a sound. I didn't move. I watched the clip through to the end. Then I saved it 3 times. 1 copy on my computer, 1 in the cloud, 1 in a backup folder. I didn't confront her. I didn't call. Instead, I forwarded the video to someone whose reaction mattered. "Paige. Thought you should see this. I believe she's been staying with you." 2 hours later, Paige replied. "What the hell? I had no idea she did this. She told me you were the one acting unstable. She said you locked her out without warning." I didn't respond. There was nothing left to explain. The next morning, my phone rang. A number I hadn't seen in a while. Gordon, Tammy's father. A direct man. Spent decades in construction. Not one for dramatics. When he asked something, he expected honesty. "Roger," he said. "Your mother-in-law and I would like to talk in person. Can we come by tonight?" "I'll be here," I answered. I knew what was coming. Tammy had told them one version. Paige had shown them another. At 7:12 p.m., they knocked. Karen looked exhausted. Gordon looked like someone who'd been holding back questions for days. Karen spoke first. "We just want clarity. Tammy says one thing. Paige says something else." "I'll show you," I said. I opened my laptop, pulled up the footage, and pressed play. The room went silent. When the video ended, Karen kept staring at the screen as if it might restart on its own. Gordon didn't speak for 10 seconds. "She told us you threw her out," he said finally. "Without warning." I nodded. "She asked for space. She wanted to be friends. I gave her exactly that." "She said it was a minor argument," Karen murmured. "That she was staying with Paige temporarily to cool things off." I opened another folder. Text messages, car request, subscription cancellations, timestamps. Then I showed them the HR complaint. I didn't need to explain who sent it. Gordon's expression hardened. "She's our daughter," Karen said, her voice shaking. "But we don't support this. This isn't how we raised her." "I figured," Gordon said as he stood. "I need to call her." "Put it on speaker," I said. He didn't hesitate. "Hi, Dad," Tammy answered. "Tammy," Gordon said evenly. "Your mother and I are at Rogers. He's shown us everything. The video, the messages, the report sent to his workplace. Do you want to explain why you tried using your old key at his door after midnight?" Silence. Then, Dad, no. It's not what it looked like. I just wanted to check on him. I didn't even go inside. You had no right to be there, Gordon replied, calm but sharp. And you lied about all of it. Her voice cracked. He's making me look terrible. He took the car. He locked me out. We're done, Tammy, he said. And ended the call. Gordon looked at me and nodded once. We're sorry. For all of it. Tammy never came back herself. She sent movers. I let them in, showed them the boxes she'd left in the closet, the dresser in the spare room, and a few framed pictures still hanging on the wall. No arguments. No drama. 30 minutes later, they were gone. After that, I blocked Tammy. I deleted the camera footage, but kept the HR email archived. Not out of bitterness, but as a reminder that listening to your instincts isn't paranoia. It's readiness. The apartment is quiet again now. Not empty. Just calm. It doesn't feel cold. It feels like it belongs to me. I sit on the same spot on the couch where she told me she needed space. And it hits me, she got exactly what she asked for. Just not the version she expected. People think power comes from control. It doesn't. Real power comes from letting go, cleanly, precisely, without hesitation. Tammy wanted freedom. I gave her the complete version. And I kept mine. Thanks for watching.